forgot my name. He called me down, bitch. Don't start no shit, but if he in it, I'm gon' finish shit. Flaw ass niggas in this circle, I'm the one that point them out. He say that bitch over there ain't.
Hey, I'm Winter. Domestic violence in the United States of America is a serious problem that comes with very high statistics. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 10 men suffer from intimate partner abuse. While physical abuse is one form of abuse, mental and emotional abuse is another. And sometimes you're dating a narcissistic partner and you're not even aware. If you know someone that is suffering from intimate partner abuse, please don't hesitate to reach out to your local domestic abuse hotline. You can reach that number at 1 800 799 7233. You can text the word begin to 88788. Tonight's episode of Simply Winter M, the podcast, will cover a wide range of intimate partner abuse. Enjoy the show and know that help is available.
Seem like he forgot my name. He called me down, bitch. Don't start no shit, but if he in it, I'm gon' finish shit. Flaw ass niggas in this circle, I'm the one that point.
Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Simply Winter M, the podcast. On tonight's episode of season 2, we visit the story Down Chick with Chic-Shawanda Kelly. Hey, Shawanda.
Hey, girl.
So the tables turn this episode, huh?
Hey, definitely turn.
So introduce yourself to the audience and tell them a little bit about the significance of the title of your story.
Hi, everyone. I am Shawanda Kelly. And I don't know what to tell y'all from the beginning. I guess y'all here as it go. I mean, I got a lot to talk about. And I'm pretty sure the questions are going to be very interesting, and I'm going to answer them all. So,
Okay, so let's start with your childhood. Describe for
okay.
us what your childhood was like growing up.
My childhood was, it was deep. It was, very challenging besides my bad behavior. But I always felt like um, I was the black sheep between my siblings. So I did a lot of things for attention, and I did a lot of things because I want to do it. So I felt like I was a black sheep because I felt like I was treated different. I was treated different from everybody else, and it went on. So I started doing stuff like running away, to not just for all of us, not for attention, but mostly because I wanted to. And I felt like that would get my attention from my mom if I ran away. You know what I'm saying? She'll act like she cared more with that part. So, and I feel like I didn't get the the proper amount of love that I'm supposed to get, but I didn't understand that till I got older. So then it was just more like I just felt like I was just treated different from my siblings. It was put in my head because I was the dark kid, with the black daddy. Then my sisters got mixed daddies. So I felt like that too. I was treated different. I never understood like why I was treated different. And I mean, I still don't understand sometimes till today. But I mean, I also look at it now that I'm older, that I guess um, that was all my mama knew how to do. I guess that was the love that she got, and that was all the love that she got was the only love that she was able to give.
Were there any earlier experiences or traumas that shaped how you view love and trust?
Yes. To start off, I guess me being molested. Let me start with that. Early on in my, like, I'm gonna say 6, 7 years old. I had got molested by my uncle. I guess he was like my great uncle on my dad's side, and I think that kind of messed me up a little bit, messed me up a lot. That was the beginning of my mess up. I'm gonna say that. Besides already how I was treated, that kind of put a damp in things, and it made me promiscuous. You know what I'm saying? It made me promiscuous growing up in a lot of areas of my life, and I felt like it was times that I hollered that I didn't want to go over here, and I was still like my mom. I don't know because she was busy trying to get to where she was going. I don't know, but she never really paid attention to my cries, and it was like I would go over there. My mama would drop me off, and I would always have to take a bath. I always have to take a bath when I go over there and sit on his lap as he touches me and molests me like over and over again. Like I knew it wasn't right, but he used to tell me that if I said something, that he would do something more to me. And at that time, I'm a little kid, so I really didn't understand. I just know that that wasn't right. I just know that I wasn't supposed to be touched like that. I just knew it wasn't right. And it's like as life went on, um, I guess it kind of like it was a trauma that I had to deal with. So I started being like, I didn't want to really go with my daddy by myself because I felt like my daddy never touched me, but I felt like my dad would touch me because my great uncle touched me. I didn't want, but nobody really never paid attention. And I didn't want to go like I used to go with my granddad a lot. I was like scared to go with I was scared of older men because I felt like they would touch me. Just because he touched me, I feel like anybody would want to touch me. And like nobody really never paid attention to it. Like it was never really or maybe it was they were so caught up in their life, nobody never really paid attention. And I felt like in my heart, like I wasn't the only one being touched, but that was something that I couldn't talk about. I couldn't talk about it with my mom. Uh, my dad, he was around because I used to go over his house and my auntie's house, and it was like I couldn't tell them neither, So it's like I had to deal with it, grow up with it, and I started being fast.
It's crazy how molestation turns into promiscuity. And for the most part, the family never equates the two. They never do the 1 plus 1 equals 2. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us victims of molestation, that typically is our route. Like once somebody violates us, our act of rebelliousness comes through promiscuity. And that's about that girl stinking fast and she a mess of herself and she always in some boy face, not ever knowing or stopping to think to say, hold on, sit down, who touched you
Yeah,
and
right.
what's wrong? They never think about it like that. How did your upbringing influence the kind of relationship you chose later in life?
It made me stay in a lot of situations because I felt like I was safe. It made me stay in, I mean, just stay in things too long, even when it was abuse going on. I still stayed because I never thought it was abuse. I thought it was just, hey, you hit me, I hit you back. You know what I'm saying? You punch me, I punch you back. Even when things got like worse, I never looked at it as I was in an abusive relationship. I just looked at it as I've been fighting for a long time in my life. Yeah, I'm just being honest. Like I've been fighting for a long time in my life, and this is a part of life. You know what I'm saying? And then I wasn't mature in my mind, so I just didn't know. I thought that I was supposed to just stay in this. Like this is how it's supposed to be. He loves me. So I really didn't, and right now, even to this day, like I'm still. I guess. I mean, I guess I'm still dealing with trauma because now it's like I thought all that was love in that relationship because I loved him so much. I thought that was love. So I sat around and I dealt with a lot of stuff and I think it was more because all the things that I had to endure growing up and I had to just take it and deal with it. So I felt like this was something I had to just take and I just had to deal with it.
Wow. Did you have any strong female role models growing up? And if so, did they influence you?
No, I really I mean I had my big sister, but I mean we was all together in the same house, but everybody went had their own lives doing their own thing. So I can't really say like I had a role model. I had people that I didn't want to be like, but I never had nobody that I wanted to be like. So
No. How did becoming a mother change you?
becoming a mother changed me a lot because I felt like I have 7 kids and I felt like that's where I was going. The love that I was missing, I felt like that's where I was gonna get it from. Having my kids. So I kept having kids, hiding it, having a kid, hiding it. When I think about what the fuck was I hiding it for? Like, it's no reason for me to have. Well, I mean, I felt like that's where I was gonna get my love. Like, I was gonna have these kids, and they was
Mhm.
gonna love me. You know.
It's
So I
that
guess just
search. It's that search for the first source of unconditional love that makes you bring forth these children at a young age and then continuously bring forth because it's that look in their eyes when they first see you. And it's that hug around your neck when they first able to reach and grab and that warm fuzzy feeling you feel deep down inside like somebody really loved me for me, even with my broken pieces and all. So I get it. Like I relate to that a lot because I tell my kids that all the time. And I think I shared that with you when you
hmm
interviewed me for my episode. Is that my all my kids? I don't regret none of my kids and how none of them came about because all of them were my first source, my first experience with unconditional love. I knew without a shadow of a doubt, no matter who I was and what I was, because I was
hmm
a mess. I knew that they loved me. I could just see it in their eyes and I could just feel it. So I get it. I get how becoming a mother changed
But
you.
even with becoming a mama, I learned that I was just having kids. I didn't know. Even though I had kids, all these kids, because I felt like that's where I was gonna get my love from. But it was still something missing out of me that I didn't know. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like I didn't know because my son, my third child, this was kind of opened my heart for real, for real. Because kids don't know at a young age really too much, especially when you don't say it to say I love you, right? So my son, my third child, he asked for a honey bun and I gave it to him. And he just hugged me so tight, like, Mama, I love you so much. And that kind of like opened my heart, like, dang, I don't tell my kids I love you. Maybe because my mama didn't tell me she loved me, or my daddy didn't tell me they love me. And that day forward, I started telling them. I love you. You know what I'm saying? Every day and being more. Because the only thing I was doing really was being a mom, taking care of them, being with them every day. But it's bigger than that. You know, they need to hear, I love you. Like I needed to hear, I love you. I
Yeah.
needed to hear it. So when that day I started telling them I love you every day, and now to this day, I hear that. You know what I'm saying? It's instilled in them. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. So
What were some of the emotional and mental challenges you feel like you faced as you raised your children, especially during an unstable relationship?
I just felt like I had these kids. I had to have them. I had to take care of them. And I didn't feel like I had my sister. My sister did a lot for my kids, financial wise. I can honestly say that. But I feel like something was still missing. I felt like I was still missing support. Like if I would have had more support or more help or more, you know what I'm saying? As a mother, I faced a lot of struggles, like a lot of struggle, and nobody never really seen it. And if they seen it, they didn't care enough. Only thing they cared enough for is to use me while I was struggling. You know what I'm saying? To come to me and when they need their kids babysitter or anything of that nature. But other than that, nobody never really cared about no struggles or nothing to the point to help me. Oh, I don't even know if they were supposed to help me. You know what I'm saying? They nobody really never. It was like sometimes, a majority of the time, I just felt like I was looked at different because I had a lot of kids. Nobody never. It was always you got a lot of kids. Nobody never can say it like, but she takes care of her kids. She not putting her kids off on nobody. She's raising them kids through her struggles and all by herself. It was more. I was more judged. You know, I was always judged by everything instead of somebody just saying like, even through her struggles. Not one time did she get them kids away. Not one time did her mama have to take care of them kids. Nobody took care of them. She sat there and she dealt with them kids through. And baby, I struggled. Nobody said never said that. It was always everybody always judged me and looked at me different. Even when I, you know what I'm saying, went through things. It's like you can't really tell nobody. I build up a pride. You can't really tell nobody because if you do, instead of them trying to help you, they gonna talk about you. So I kind of shied away from people and kind of stayed to myself because how people always treated me. You know what I'm saying? And it made me just be a mother, even though it was hard and sometimes I didn't know what to do. All I knew was that I had to stay here with these kids. I had to not let them out my side and I had to, be a mother. Regardless if I was lost and didn't know what to do, I had no other choice. I had to be because my grandma always told me, because my grandma told me I was gonna have 7 kids and stop. And this before I even had kids. And she said, you're gonna love them kids. You're gonna go through things. You're gonna love them kids and you're gonna be the best mother that you can be with them kids. And that's what I knew to do. I knew to do was just be that. But I feel like if I would have had like it didn't want so much, just more emotional, just more support instead of people just looking down on me, then things probably could have went a lot smoother for me. But I mean, I didn't.
Do you feel like motherhood healed you or challenged you?
I think it healed me in a sense, and it challenged me.
It did both.
It did both. Yeah.
What values do you try to pass on to your children now that they older and they having children of their own based on your experiences?
I tell them this is what I tell them because I mean, even though I always said what I wanted to be when I grew up, I never really got a chance to be it because this was what I had in my mind, but I didn't have the drive to be nothing but a mama. That's all I knew. But I tell my kids now, especially like I talk to my boys all the time and my girls, but more just ground yourself. You know what I'm saying? Get you a career job, you know what I'm saying? And ground yourself so that you can be a better person than I was, than I was to y'all. So just ground yourself, always handle your business, and don't just be putting your kids off on nobody. And regardless if you don't have the father is not there, because sometimes that can happen. You know what I'm saying? Still make sure you stand your ground and do what you got to do as a mother.
Yeah. That's good advice. That's good advice to get these kids as they
Mhm.
venture off into parenthood. I tell my kids similar, like, stop always being like, Mama, you did so good. And no, like, I did the best I could. Now you go do better. You be better than me as a parent to your children than what I was to you. That's the goal, for every generation to come out better and better and better.
Better.
So give my grandkids better than what, if okay, if you felt like I did good by you, great. That's great. Now give my grandkids better than what you feel like I gave you, So that's good. That's good advice that you get in. You ready to break the ice? You ready to get into the deep stuff?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. What led you into a relationship with somebody that was in and out of jail?
Actually, when I met him, we were in the juvenile center
Mm.
together. I met him. I had never heard of Delaney Projects of any such nature, and I met him in the juvenile center. So if I met him in jail, that was gonna be my story. But I had no idea that was gonna be my story. But I mean, I met him in jail, and then when I had my first kid, he got indicted and did, I don't know, it was less than 10 years or something like that, or 10. But that always been my heart. Like that's who I love. That was my heart. Even though, I went on with my life and I had kids by another man, that's not who I wanted. The person that I wanted was Katie. You know what I'm saying? That's who I wanted.
Girl,
So
don't say that name out loud. Don't
okay, okay. I mean, that's
we got that name in common. So
yeah, that's
it's
yeah, that's
something
who I
about that
wanted.
name right there, honey.
That's who I wanted. So even though after having then I had um one, two,
Listen.
three, four. Probably by the time he got out, I was pregnant with my sixth child. By the time he got out, but he wanted me too. So he got out. I moved to South Bend because I didn't care what I had to go through. That's what I wanted, and I was gonna deal with whatever I had to deal with to get it. And I moved to South Bend. We was messing around, and I was still kind of messing with my other baby daddy, and I just didn't want him. I didn't want him at all. And I end up telling him, like, breaking it off with him because we just kind of, he was a nympho. So he was doing a lot of cheating and all type of stuff, just all type of devious things or whatever. But he was just a good father. But that wasn't what I wanted. So he got out. I got to being with Spanky. I was pregnant with my sixth child. I got to being with him. And I ended up getting pregnant with my seventh child. And he had a child on the way while I was pregnant, but the girl was coming to get my oldest son, but she never said anything. So ended up getting pregnant with my baby boy, and he ended up getting locked up for like violating parole, and then his other baby mama ended up calling to tell my son that she had a baby on the way. He got a sibling on the way. And I'm like, what, damn, you know what I'm saying? So we both my baby was born in May 21st, 2006, and her son was born March 2006. But I didn't care about that. I just, you know what I'm saying? My mind went right. I wanted them. This is the beginning. I knew that they was messing around in jail. So it's like I didn't care at that moment. It bothered me, but again, my mind was very immature. So I dealt with it. And as life went on, he continued to in and out, in and out. in and out. I dealt with it because I felt like that was all I knew to do. Like I didn't know. I really like I just didn't know. Like I thought this was what I was supposed to do again. So I did it and he continued to go in and out and he finally didn't go no more for a while. And I used to let him do basically kind of whatever he want to do. I wasn't really on him because even though I loved him, it was like I was so really comfortable for real, to be honest, of being with just my kids. So him being out the house was fine, regardless if he was cheating. Because a lot of times after the end, I didn't know. So to make a long story short, he was out for a while, a long while, more than usual, and he ended up going back, and I end up bonding him out of jail. He had a court date and he missed his court date. So meaning now he has a warrant again. So he ended up going to Gary. I mean, I didn't really let nobody know anything until he get ready to turn himself in. And the bounty hunters came to my house looking for him because I bonded him outright. And as they came looking for him, I called him on the phone because the man said he was gonna garnish my check. So I called him on the phone and I said, the bounty hunter man right here, he wants to speak to you. He said he's gonna garnish my check. What are you gonna do? I had already been hearing little stuff that he was kind of like messing with people, but it was more I didn't know. I didn't know, but I knew that I was gonna find out. So he talked to him, the man. He told the man he was gonna come back, and he ended up coming back, came home, and I just had this bad like gut feeling in my stomach. So I mean, I don't mean to put no names out there, but I don't care. It is what it is. Yeah, he ended up coming back home, and because he was gonna turn himself in, and a status. This is funny. A status came across my own Facebook, and I never even seen like, and I automatically knew that this girl was messing with him. So a status came up, was like, "Nigga, I know you back in Indianapolis with your family, bitch ass nigga. I should bust you out." And I automatically knew that this person was posting this for I can see it, and it felt like it was for me. And how I knew it was for me because like 3 months before the end, he told me that somebody was doing some check stubs for him, right? And he said this name. Now, I do all this stuff for him. And I just put this name in the back of my file because I knew it was going to come back to it another day. So when I put the name in the back of my file and this popped up on social media, I automatically put the two together like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. This was going on right here. That's why she posted this. And then he ended up leaving his phone and going somewhere. And it was blowing off the hook. I mean, just ringing off the hook. I knew it had to been a female because it was just blowing up too much. And then I answered it, and then they didn't say nothing. Then they sent a text, but this wasn't the same girl. This was somebody else. It was if they sent the text saying, this was another. You at home with your bitch while I'm pregnant with your child that I'm not getting rid of. But I knew that person was not the same person that was on the internet. But the one on the internet, I called her and I asked her, "Are you messing around with my baby daddy?" She said, "Why would you call me and ask me something like that?" No. So I hit her with this because I know this will break up now. I say, "Oh, because he said, why would he mess around with you? You smoke moles, you this, you that, you a whore, right?" And she said, I knew to pick with a brain. "Oh, you got me messed up. I've been effing with this nigga for 6 months. Where the fuck you been? And he got a baby on the way." That's why I left him the fuck alone. So I had to do my homework. So I went back into the messages with the person saying that the baby on the way. And he ended up coming back to the house. So I'm like, who is this? He like, that's old girl, Tiffany. Fuck it. That's old girl Tiffany. No, this two people right here is two different people. You was messing around with her. But this mom right here talking about baby, this is a whole different person right here. He like, no, it ain't. I swear to God. I end up hearing her voice. She sounded like a little kid to me. So I'm like, hey, what's up? And it sounded like young, like my daughters. And I'm like, is you messing with Frankie? First she tried to deny it, and she went on like, yeah, and I'm pregnant. I've been messing with him, such such. He lied. So I found her. I got her name. I went on her Facebook page, and I went way back. So I knew the day that they first started messing with each other, the day they first started sleeping with each other, when she got pregnant. I just by going back, I figured that. So I was so upset that day that I went to the liquor store, and I'm not even a drinker, and bought a bottle of 1800. I didn't have nobody to go visit. So I just sat at the park drinking the 1800, trying to drown away because it hurted. Like this hurted. Like this thing got a baby on the way. This hurted me so bad. And he was still at the house, and I'm just in my mind, I just wanted to kill him. That's all. I just wanted to kill him and send him on to misery. And my son was like, Pops, just going on back to Gary because mama not playing. So what a coincidence. I pray, even drinking, I pray like God, what I want to do to this person. I really don't want to do that because, at the end of the day, my kids need me. So I forgot just that earlier that day, he locked my keys in my trunk, and the police pulled up behind my car, and they said, "Is you okay?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he ended up giving them his name and his social security number and went in the house. And they like, "Is he okay?" And I'm like, "But he had a warrant." And I'm like, he cool. I knew the next day, so I didn't sleep in my house. I stayed sleep in my car in the back of my trunk. After the door was getting open, stayed out there, and he had to coming to get in the truck to take the kids in the morning to school. And as we pulled off, the police came from out of nowhere with the guns. Get out with your hands up. And I felt so relieved at that moment, but I knew that I still loved this man so much. But this is God needed to get him away from me for a while to see how I'm gonna heal and how I'm gonna deal with this and get time for the baby to be born. Me look to see, do the DNA by my eyes, you know what I'm saying, and everything. And he um he ended up going to jail, and by the time he got out, yes, even after seeing the baby, I knew that that was his baby. The girl used to be on social media just out of control, but I had to look at it like she's the same age as my oldest child. So the behavior that she's putting out there, this is what she's supposed to be doing. He a grown ass man. This is what she's supposed to be. This is how she's supposed to be acting. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? And he went to jail. He got out. I went and got him. Even after that, he got out, and I wanted to discuss the baby, like what you gonna do about this baby because this is your child. You know what I'm saying? He tried to hide it, so he was like sneaking around. While he got out, he was sneaking around. Cause one thing about him, when it come to his kids, he not gonna play. He love his kids, and he not gonna play about his kids. So I already knew that to come, and I was willing to deal with that. I was still willing to deal with that because again, in my heart, like you're not about to have my man. That's how I felt. So he ended up getting involved, you know what I'm saying, in the baby life or whatever. And, you know, he was embarrassed to bring the baby home to the kids, even though my kids, they love, you know what I'm saying? They don't care about that. They ain't even, okay. They didn't care about none of that. They love the kids. So the kid finally came to my house and lived with us. And even though people like, wow, you crazy, but nobody can never say what they're gonna deal with until they actually in that situation.
I'm
So
telling you.
me, I didn't care, and I didn't want to let him go because the way I loved him, I had to outgrow him before I walk away. I couldn't just let go. So I dealt with the kid. I loved the kid like it was my kid because he didn't ask to be here. It ain't his fault. And he was a loving kid. I loved him. Like, but in my head, I knew like she's in her 20s. It's something else more gonna come around there. Long as she leaves the door open, he hitting it. You know what I'm saying? So as the more I was around him, the kid was around, I was just liking him. It was like I go to sleep mad. I wake up mad. I will stay at work from 6 a.m. and go work in another department till 1 a.m. in the morning because I didn't want to come home. You know what I'm saying? So as time went on, we still together. I'm still being not the mama to my kids, but just being that person to his kid too. Christmas come, I'm buying gifts. Like I'm still being that person. And then, but I was hating them. The more I was being around them, I was loving them, but I was hating them. Like, damn, you just gonna do me like this? And then I was catching stuff in his phone. They talking and they doing all this and the other. And then just one day, I looked in the phone and she said, I'm pregnant again. My period didn't come. I packed his stuff up and I never did that. Packed it up nicely. He tried to call her on the phone, like, tell her you lying, tell her you lying. She tried to tell me she was lying, but I just knew she wasn't lying. He end up basically, I think, kind of not for a while, leaving after then. And I still proceeded to mess with him because I still wanted to have sex on him. I was ready to get him out, but I wasn't ready to close that chapter. So I was still sleeping with him, sleeping with him, sleeping with him. And he knew, like, he felt like, long as I guess she gonna still let me, to the point that he wouldn't care, like, if I was messing with somebody, long as he able to be in my presence, like, it didn't matter. But he still started, when he feel like, cause I started like talking to people, not really giving a fuck, and that bothered him, cause when the rabbit got the gun, it doesn't matter
Ain't no
what you
fun.
did, it ain't no
Ain't
fun.
no fun when that rat to get the gun, baby.
And me, by the time now, I'm still gonna fuck with you, but I'm gonna show you that I don't
Mhm.
give a fuck, but I'm gonna still fuck you, but you gonna know that I don't give a fuck. And I used to do a lot of little dirty things that I'm not gonna get on here and tell, cause I needed my lick back. I needed my lick back. So I did a lot of little low down and dirty things, but I still messed with him. I messed with him for a couple of years after then, still messed with him till one day we were in the bed and I said, I just felt disgusted, you know, like I didn't want to do this. And I just stopped like that period of time. And then a bunch of months would pass and then I do it again. And then I felt stupid. Like, what am I doing? But then to the point I was doing it, like, I'm still gonna fuck with him. And he gonna pull up at my house. He gonna see another nigga car back, that somebody that I was talking to, and when he leave, he gonna want to still come in. You know what I'm saying? I was playing it like that because I wanted to teach him, like, yeah, I'm gonna still fuck with you, but you gonna see that I ain't shit just like you, but we're not together. So I still stayed with him through everything, and the reason why I did is because you know love is not a turn on switch, and if anybody know me, know I love the fuck out of him. Like that's was the only man that I ever loved, literally. So I knew that it doesn't matter what nobody said about me, how nobody judged the situation, call me stupid, saying they will never do this, never do that. I didn't care. I knew that I needed to outgrow him in order to completely let him go. And I did. I did. And now like we cool with hell because I'm the type of person like you can do even in a relationship. When I don't want to F you no more, I'm not. But I'm gonna be cool with you because at the end of the day, like I still care about your well being. I'm gonna be cool. But we real cool now. We cool. And that's basically what it is.
Why you think you stayed after all that betrayal?
I stayed because I loved him so much. The love I had when I was comfortable with him. And I loved him so much that if I left him, would have left him there, I would have been stalking him, stalking his page, like waking up to see what's going on, going to sleep. It would have been bad. So I knew that I needed to outgrow him. That was the only way that I was going to let go. That's if I outgrow him.
You think you was afraid to learn somebody new?
I think that played a part in it too. I was afraid to learn somebody new. And this, what I'm about to say, he said. even though he hurting me sometimes, I wanted to I didn't want to hurt him like he hurted me in a sense. Does that make sense?
You a bigger person than me, baby.
Yeah, I didn't want to hurt him.
You
Like,
a
yeah, I
bigger
didn't want.
person than me. You a different kind of Sagittarius, baby. Because baby, me, oh, when
No,
I
don't
say
get me
I'm
wrong.
getting
I
my
did
lick
stuff.
back,
I did. No, I did. I did. Listen, I did a lot of things. No, and it wasn't a hidden secret, but I still allowed him back in the door. But I did a lot of things. I did a lot of things. Oh yeah, that he
why
knew
you
of.
think we like that? Why do you think Sagittarius like that? Why do we need our lick back?
Because I feel like if I loved your ass like that and you knew it, why would you do me like that? But the fact that you did, I got to get my lick back.
Did you ever get a chance to confront this young lady?
Baby, confronting her was like confronting a little kid on the street. My kid was confronting one of my kids. So yes, I confronted her. And it was like, so what? I don't care. She just didn't care. She wanted what she wanted. And so it was like I could see if she was like a grown woman. She a little kid to me. You know what I'm saying? She the same age as my kid. He's the same age as me. So I knew in my mind, and I can stoop to a person level, and I done stoop to her level, argue with her, go back and forth, do all that stuff, but it wasn't getting nowhere because long as she had that door open, he was still gonna mess with her. And then they had kids, and then they end up having another kid. Like she wasn't gonna go nowhere. I knew she wasn't gonna go
So
nowhere.
how many kids total did he have with her?
Too, and one of them end up passing away.
Oh, man.
Yeah, when he was like, I'm like probably like 3 or 4 years old. Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah. And then
Wow.
he called me, to talk about that because we cool. He know that I'ma always be a listening ear. And I had let go of the hurt. So it was more like, okay, you can call me, you can talk to me on the phone, because I let go of all of that. So he called me on the phone and he told me, you know what I'm saying, what happened. And I know it hurted him because he's been in and out of jail with all his kids. But this one particular kid right there, he didn't go back to jail no more. And the baby was sick. He was with that baby from sun up to sundown, hospital 30 days, 60 days. He was there hand and foot for that baby. The baby changed him. I'm gonna say that. He really changed him. And he was there like he loved all his kids, but this was the one, besides like my baby boy, he was around him a lot. But this the one right here that he got to be with him every day, learning his sickness. I'm helping him back and forth in the hospital for 30 to 60 days, surgeries as a baby. Like he was there like hand and foot for that baby. So to lose him, I knew that, what I'm saying? I knew that hurting him. So I was always a listening ear and a shoulder to crown if needed to do that.
At what at what point did you say, all right, I'm gone? Cause I gotta get out of this and I gotta go ahead and start to heal.
I guess when we didn't want really seeing each other. He was with his baby. The baby came along, the sickness, and he was devoted to that. He was really, really devoted to that. So that kind of kept us, you know what I'm saying? Kept us from not being around each other really and healing. But it's times he'll go to the hot to go to Raleigh Hospital, and it's times that I done came and bring him food. But I didn't want him no more. I didn't want him no more after that. So I guess it was more when the baby came and he had to be more active and we wasn't seeing each other, and it was like it was time. It gave me room to heal and go on about my business and let go of the situation.
Was he acceptive of you saying farewell?
No, he always say, and he still say it to this day, you my and you gonna always be mine.
Boy, boy. I could elaborate on that, but I'm not. I'm not. Did you seek any type of therapy, spiritual guidance, or just rely on your own personal growth?
I rely more on my own personal growth. I didn't start going to therapy to like probably like a year and a half ago. So that was way after the situation because I knew I needed to go to therapy, not just for that, but for
Everything.
everything. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, I'm in a relationship now. I'm engaged, and I
Congratulations.
struggle. I'm engaged. I struggle with that like daily, and I don't know if it's because love don't hold no weight with me. You know, it don't hold no weight with me because it's been like all the people who said they love me
Hurt me.
hurt me. So it's like it's hard for me to love now. You know what I'm saying? And it's so hard. And I always thought that cheating was the only thing that tear up a relationship. It's not. Until I got into this relationship and I learned that lack of communication, not accepting accountability, not listening to me, making everything that I say turn into an argument instead of listening, you know what I'm saying, to understand like that tears down a relationship. And that's what I'm dealing right now with in this right here. And so I'm struggling every day, literally. But I pray, you know, and I ask God, like, you know, is this my person? Like, why am I not loving like maybe he feel I should? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Like, why am I not this? But I can go back to say like, and he's not cheating. He haven't cheated on me penetrating nobody, but he has did stuff like in that's a bothersome to me. That matters to me because if you saying you love me and then behind my back, you know, you're doing stuff back to me, so that puts a big blockage on it.
But I think what a lot of people deem as cheating is that intimate sexual interaction when that's not
That-
the only form of
That's not
cheating.
because you got to get where it started. It start
Yeah,
with
you could just be you could be an emotional cheating. Like if you talk to a platonic friend on a regular basis and y'all establish an emotional connection, you're cheating on me emotionally
yeah.
because those feelings, emotions, and thoughts that you sharing with this person, I'm your fiance, I'm your
Right.
spouse. You supposed to be sharing
You're
them with
sharing it
me,
with
and we
me.
supposed to navigate through that together. So cheating is not always just sexual
Mm-mm.
relations.
And I say that and now enough. It's not always. It to me. It's not because that's what it started. It started with messaging. It starts with that, and then you begin to do it more and do it more and do it more
Mhm.
and do it more, and you're comfortable with doing it to the point like he acts like, oh, it's not a problem. I didn't do anything wrong. But if you would have called me in my
It'd
messages,
be a
then
problem.
it'd be a problem when you're always in your feelings, you know?
Mhm.
So why is it not wrong? And I'm like, nothing the last relationship did. When I came in this relationship, it was a clean slate. Matter of fact, my guards were down. When they went back up, it's because of your behavior. And not only that, you think you never do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff mattered to me. So I struggle every day with my Leo.
Oh wow. So do you feel like it has impacted your relationship with family and friends also?
Yes,
In what way?
in every way. I still now it was more bothersome to me when I feel like family paying favoritism or I'm being I'm not important to nobody in the family. I mean, it still goes on and on and on and on. But so if happening, I'm a person, I'll keep my distance from you. I won't talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And I won't care that I don't talk to you. So I guess it yeah, it impacted. I try to be better with it, but sometimes people don't allow you to be better.
You ain't gonna get no complaints out of me about that statement, honey,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
people will hold you at your "don't play with me" point. Like, I'm trying to change, but if you keep on, baby, you gonna get the same old me. Don't act like she gone, cause she not gone. She just, I've put her away, So I get
But
where
I
you coming
but I
from.
also learned this too. I'm better at this because I did like I feel like, and this goes for myself. You can't expect for nobody to show up for you all the time if
Mm-mm.
you're not showing up to me. People give you what you give them. So I had to learn that too. Like, so now, like, even though like I'm still distant with a lot, if I see you showing up for me, whether it's 10% or 20% out of 100, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't hold it against nobody because you showed up, and you never know what nobody's going through and what they had to get to show up for you. So I look at that now. So people who show up for me, I try to show up for them the best way that I know how.
yeah.
Sometimes do it get noticed? No, but I still try to do it. I still try to show up more now than I ever did before because I didn't give a fuck about showing up for nobody. I didn't care if I didn't see nobody, if they ain't see me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care. That's the type of attitude I had because that's the type of attitude people left me to have. But now
Mhm.
that my mind has matured, you know what I'm saying? I look like I'm gonna show up for those who show up for me. So that's what I do. I show up for those who show up for me.
What do your sisters think about everything you've been through?
To be honest, we never really sat down and had that conversation.
Do they know?
No. I mean, they know enough, but I mean, I think they know that I've been molested. I mean, I told my mama when I got older, grown, I told her that I got molested.
Wait, 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 wait,
Okay.
wait. So them watching this episode will
Hmm.
be them essentially finding out your life.
Yeah. The parts that they don't know, it's still a lot of parts that nobody don't know. But yeah, basically.
Oh wow,
I mean,
Shawanda.
from my dad's side to my mama's side, like I don't think, and even if they didn't know, nobody cared enough to talk about it.
What do you think their reaction is going to be? Like, is this going to explain a lot about you for them?
I mean, it may explain to some, but then some, like it'll explain to you if you care. But if you don't care, then it ain't gonna explain nothing to you because they gonna look at me like nobody never acts like I look at things now when people act a certain way and be a certain way, it's a reason behind a lot of things with people. And people don't look at that. They just look at you as this trouble person who distance herself, who don't care, you know what I'm saying, always on BS. And I'm not.
Exactly.
So I don't know, like I never really was I never been able to sit down and really like talk like I never like sat down and really been able to just talk to nobody about this or just explain me because I always feel like people don't care. So yeah, this is everybody finna hear it now, and you know what I'm saying.
Well, thank you for allowing me to care.
Hmm. It might bother some, like wow, but they probably got some stories too. that, hell, that they need to tell. You just you just never know. Oh, I
The
mean,
door is always open.
but I know I just that's my story, and me being molested played a big part in my life. Me feeling like I was treated different played a big part in my life. Me not getting loved correctly or hearing the word I love you played a big part in my life. Me being a mother and going through major struggles played a big part in my life. Like, and to the point like now that when my kids and my grandkids, I feel like I'm obligated to be here. Like I have to because I don't want to be like my mama. My mama wasn't. I love my mama. You know, she wasn't a mama to my kid, a grandma to my kids. So I don't want to be like that with my grandkids. So I allow, just keeping them alive. I feel like I have to be there. Like I have to be there. I have to support my kids. I have to babysit. Cause everybody need that extra support. So I babysit with my daughters. When you going to make money, yes, I'll babysit. When you going to school and you need a baby, yes, I will babysit. But other than that, like, cause I want them to be better than I was. And if I'm able to help them be better as I see them, what I'm saying, do right in their life and do the right thing, then I'm gonna be there. But sometimes I feel like I overdo it because I don't want to be like my mama. Even though people like you're not your mama, but I just feel like I don't want them to miss, what I'm saying, the love that I feel like I didn't get. And maybe that's all my mama knew how to the love that's only love that she knew how to give. That was her way of loving. Cause I think about that too. You know what I'm saying? That was just her way of loving.
I
Love.
think that whole generation like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think that whole generation didn't know how to properly display parental love because I can relate to a lot of what you're saying. And I remember being like 25, 26 in the middle of the floor, hooping, hollering, screaming to my mama, like, what was so different about me? Like, why you couldn't love me? And my mama, like, girl, is you crazy? Like, I love you to death. I love you damn bad. It's just I didn't know how to show you that I loved you. I thought I was showing you. But I showed you I love you the same way my mama showed me. It's
So
our mama's generation that's to blame. I think it's the generation before them that's to blame. They
yeah.
just was so busy being the mama and being the wife and taking care of the house and the kids and the grandkids that they forget those small three
Mhm.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah, they forgot those small three words. So let's go ahead and tap into a mental health check. All right. So
Okay.
on a scale of 1 to 10, where you sit?
6.
Why 6? That's kind of low.
Because it's low because I mean, that's just why I feel like I still deal with things right now today to the point that I feel like I'm overstimulated with a lot of things because I try to be so much to everybody and I'm pouring from a half empty cup to the point that it messing with me mentally. And I don't know how to divide the two. I don't know how to I don't know how to not be there. I don't know how to not help. I don't know how sometimes not to say no. I don't know how like to give up. I don't know how to set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of things because I just think back and I want to get this out of my mind. And if my therapist is helping me with a lot of this, she's trying to help me with it, but I still struggle with it daily. Like I don't know how to like when things get overwhelming to me, I don't know how to not let it overwhelm me. I'm gonna say that. I don't know how. So and it feel like, Shawanda, your kids is grown. You know, they're grown, Shawanda, and you have poured from this careful cup like all your life, not just for your kids, everybody kids, anybody kids. Just you've always been, you know what I'm saying, a helping hand to people. Just just people, period. To the point that now it's starting to like bother me because I feel like I'm not where I want to be in my life because I gotta help everybody. I don't know how, like I'm so my kids is like the closest thing to me and I love them so much. For real, I love them so much to the point that I don't even though like they cool, they cool, but they still need, you know, you got a kid that may still need you. A kid that, you know, didn't have the right child father, you know what I'm saying? Just things of that nature. You know, you have that kid and they need you, and you like, I can't give up on her because she's still trying to do the right thing in her life as far as ground her career, like I told her. But me,
Baby mama gotta have a life too.
yeah. And that's how I gotta look. It's like I've been so like doing this same stuff forever that I don't know how to like.
But to be honest, like mama gotta have a life too. Don't come until you have this like breakthrough epiphany moment. Like, hold up, bruh. Like y'all grown, and I'm continuing to live my life based on y'all wants and y'all needs. Like, no, I'm done. Let me set some boundaries. Let me put them in place, and let me live by 'em. And I'm gonna tell you this from experiences. The older you allow them to get prior to setting that boundary, the harder it's gonna be for them to accept them. One and two, you gonna piss them off.
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah,
do.
they gonna be
I do.
mad when
But
you
you know,
start
my kids, I've been the only, their only to
parent.
go to person. No,
Mm-hmm.
to go to person. So
Mm-hmm.
when your mom is your only to go to person, like they talk to my sister and them, but they not close to nobody but me. Not the daddy side. They'll call somebody, but when it's all said and done, mama. Mama is the one that all they got. Mama ain't going nowhere. Mama going been their only to go to. Like other people got their own little families and all that stuff or whatever. Like I'm there to go to. So by me being their only to go to, that's what it be. Me to go to.
What does peace look like now today for you with it all?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you have a current support system?
I mean, I got people that I can call on the phone, but I don't because everybody got their own life. You know what I'm saying? But I always, still to this day, like it's only certain things you can tell people. Because even though you can call somebody and tell them your problem, people use that against you and they'll begin to judge you by it. So I gotta hold all this stuff in and keep it moving. I don't get a chance to like sometimes I drive and I just bust out crying, you know what I'm saying? And I just wipe it off and keep on moving. Or sometimes I just be sitting still, you know what I'm saying? And I just bust out crying, but then I gotta wipe my tears because I don't want nobody to see it. I don't want nobody to say, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. So I really don't have like, and then a lot of people, some people just ain't worth talking to. Just a lot of people is dizzy Doras, and it's like they got their own problems of their own that don't make sense. So why would you bring yours to theirs? So I deal with a lot of things, but I always have deal. I deal with a lot of things. I may talk to my therapist, but she told me that I was running from her. She said, "You running from me, and you ain't even got to run from me. Sit still. You running from the wrong person." You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know my right hand of God. I'm trying to find peace. I don't know. No, I'm not at peace at all.
But if you're running from your therapist, stop.
Yeah, I know. She just told me this like a month
Stop.
ago. Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if if my therapist and my first lady at my church, if I be like, y'all cool, I be having to ask because I will not hesitate. I'll text my first lady like, what you doing? She be like, oh, nothing. What's up? Like you need me. I'll just let it out. Or, I'll text Miss Thelma, my therapist, and I'll be like, what you doing? And she be like, what is it? You know what I mean? Because if you running from them, stop. Because it's it's holding it in ain't gonna help it go away.
I sit on the end of it and I talk to God like he in front of my face. Now I will do that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Them
like he
be
in front of
them
my yeah.
them be them conversations because I like, man, bro, let me tell you what's going on.
That's all
Because
I do.
and I
Yeah.
feel like you have to verbally like, and I always have to be like, man, I don't mean to call you bro like you my
Yeah, I
partner.
do the same thing now because
Yeah,
I
like
mean he ain't gonna judge you. He gonna
I don't mean
listen.
to be disrespectful or nothing like that, but I feel like you know me and you know my heart, so I'm just coming to you like I would anybody else. Let me tell you what's going on, and to be commenced in a full blown conversation with God because I feel like you know my heart and you know where I'm at with it, and I feel like when I'm confused, I don't. I know that I can trust it all with you, and it's gonna stay right there between me and you,
Me and you.
and you gonna help me figure it out. So let's get to the bottom of this and help me figure it out. Cause ain't
So
nobody gonna help me like you gonna help me. Like the Bible tells us clear as day, put not your trust in man, for man will deceive you. And it has been a fact throughout my life that every time I have put my trust or my problem in a man or a woman hands,
they
they have
deceive you.
deceived me.
Yeah.
Therefore, now I just trust it all with God because I know that it's safe with Him, one, and two, He gonna help me figure out a way.
And
So
I tell him, but sometimes I be like, God, I know you tired of me, but you're the only one I got to talk to, so I'm gonna talk to you again. You know what I'm saying? For real, because I mean,
it's me again. I see what you're
yeah, that's
doing for
me.
others. So come on, let's
Yeah.
sit down.
And so I looked at that, but yeah, I have found the church home that I was going to, but then I stopped because we got to be there at 8:30 a.m. Yeah, 8:30
I love
a.m.
you, Lord, but
And I liked it. I liked the church, like I liked it, but the 8:30 a.m. So I'm in the midst of trying to find a
you can always be my guest.
yeah a
You
better.
can
You know the
always
church
be
out
my
west.
guest at New Unity. We
Yeah,
you
I'm
come
just
is
trying
come
to.
as you are, and I promise you will not leave the same. You can always be my guest.
I even went to a retreat, a 3-day retreat with no phone. I can have no phone. I can have anything, nothing. Oh, and I feel like I have to have my phone because something may happen to my kid or they may need me, even though they grown. So it's like I was nervous wreck, like, okay, is something happening? And then they was calling the person who sponsored me, telling like, can you please tell my mama call me? Like something happened. And I snuck, she let me sneak and call them and wasn't nothing going on. But I got a lot out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
A lot of worshiping sisters. It's just I got what was meant for me to have when I went there. I
Yeah.
got that, and it kind of like changed me. But yet I still not yet to find peace. I don't even know what it looked like. I don't even know. I don't know what it feels like. Let me say that. I don't know what it feels like.
It's keep searching, and one day you
But
will
I know
find.
it's not in a man.
Yeah,
So that part I do know.
that's biblical too. Seek and ye shall find. So
Even happiness. Yeah,
keep
keep searching.
searching, and eventually you gonna find the peace it is you're looking for. What changes would you like to see in how people, specifically women, process the hurt from love and relationships failed?
This is what I tell everybody. If you going through that type of stuff, I'm not the type of person to tell nobody to leave and walk away from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easier said than done. I tell them, go through it, feel it, allow yourself to feel it.
Hmm.
And as you allow yourself to feel it, you will begin to heal it. That's just what I get out of that. I've never say leave, oh, leave that nigga, he know. Because I didn't leave that no good nigga. So I don't tell nobody, feel it, And then, I mean, pray, because I did pray. Pray about it. And as you pray, you'll begin, you know, what I'm saying, to heal. And it's your
I feel
decision.
like I feel like I feel like people that stuck in relationships and the failure of them are ashamed of the world having the aha I told you so moment. And
Yeah.
they stay knowing it's over, or they stay knowing the relationship is no longer serving a
Mm,
purpose in their life, simply because they intimidated of what the world may think of them. But a relationship failed is not necessarily a reflection of you as the
right.
failure. It could be any factor that made the relationship fail. Like you stated before, it could be intimacy, it could be communication, it could be infidelity, it could be financial, it could be a number of things that make a relationship
It
fail.
can be
But
the
that
person just need to grow up. Some people
it
just
could
need
be
to grow up.
growing apart. It could be a lot of different things. But just because the relationship failed doesn't mean you should be shamed. You should be prideful that you even tried. Because
Mhm.
there's so many people out here in the world that, one, I'm just single and I'm just gonna stay that way because it's just too much going on in these relationships. You know what I mean? To the point where they won't even try a relationship. And then two, the same person that's looking at you like, I told you so, need to get a broom and sweep around their own porch.
Yeah,
Them be the
I feel
same
you.
people who need a good broom and with a light on in the daylight to sweep around their own front porch, because them will be the same people 2, 3, 4 years down the line where you can be like, oh, she had all that going
Yeah.
on while she was sweeping around my front door. You know what I mean?
But
So
I
you
never
can't
really
stay stuck
cared.
in a relationship afraid of what the world may think of you. Let the world think what they want to think and say what they want to say, because they going to have something to say
And regardless.
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, but I
Anyway.
don't stay. I didn't stay because I didn't care about what. Hell, the internet and everybody on the internet knew he was cheating on me before I did. So everybody knew. So everybody, I mean, everybody knew. Okay, so
Girl.
I wasn't embarrassed about it. I didn't care how nobody felt. I didn't care about anything. Only thing I cared about is how I'm gonna get through this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I cared about is how I'm
And
gonna.
that's all that matters. That's all that
Mhm.
matters. What is your personal goals moving forward, and what's the motivation behind those goals?
My personal goals moving forward is to finish school for social work.
Okay, good luck. That ain't for the weak, so good luck.
But I feel like that's for me. That's really I feel like it's for me. And the more I get into it, I already been a social worker and a therapist for free. For free. So yeah, so finish school and finish school and start a business. That's my personal goal. Finish school and start a business. And I'm not gonna say finish school, start a business, but most of all, I forgot I prayed this prayer for 30 days too. After the ending of Wispanky, toward the end, I said, God, please don't allow me to love nobody else until I loved you. I have not yet gave God my all completely or completely surrendered. So I think that could be a reason. I haven't completely surrendered. I
That's
know I
deep.
got a lot more, yeah. And I prayed that for 30 days. And now that I think about it, I've been thinking about, okay, God, why I'm not like I'm supposed to be? What's going on? Why I'm not like, but I prayed that prayer for 30 days straight. God, please don't allow me to love nobody until I have gave you my all and loved you like I'm supposed to love you.
They say you got to be specific in what you pray, but they also say you got to be careful what you pray for, because God hear you.
And
So
he heard me. So that can be what's going on right now today, besides the other things. Yeah, I did pray that. And he have not let me, not even a little bit. For real, for real. He haven't let me.
how do you define yourself today?
I've defined myself as strong, but we in some areas, I define myself as I feel like I have matured in so many ways in my way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? I see my future being bright. I see me finding peace. I see me finding happiness within myself because can't nobody make me happy if I'm not completely happy within myself. It don't matter what nobody do. So I'm just, I just do more praying now than I ever did and talk to God and, even my little selfish acts, stubborn ways, what I'm saying? He don't allow me to be stubborn. Cause so get more involved with God. First and foremost, that's what I want to do. I see my future being more involved with God. And I feel like the more I'm involved with God, the more, what I'm saying, the more my life, better my life will be, and the better my life will be, and probably the better my relationship to be. I want to finish school. Like that's my focus. I just really want to do that so that I can be proud of myself. You know what I'm saying? For something more than being a mama.
Yeah. If you could go back and speak to the younger you during your hardest times, what would you say?
If I can go back, even though I experienced a lot of hurt, I know that's gonna make me making me a better person today. But I would just tell my younger self that I don't regret nothing I did. I don't regret nothing I did growing up. I don't regret anything that I did because it was all a learning experience. But I would stop my younger self for being stuck in, what I'm saying, relationships. I would have did that. And I would have followed my dreams because I did have dreams. I had dreams, a lot of them. I would have followed them, my dreams, and I don't regret my kids, none of them. Probably still would have had all them kids, cause I mean, I'm happy that I got them, my kids. But I would just follow my dreams and just let life, cause that's something that I can't stop. If I can go back of me not getting molested, but that was something that was out of my control. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could have been, I wish I could have said something or somebody maybe would have paid attention to me more to ask me those questions. What's going on?
What do you want your story to teach other women who may be going through something similar?
I want my story to like put your trust in God, like put your trust in God instead of man and allow God to lead your life. Allow God to lead your life. Because I feel like if I would allow him to lead like I should have instead of going back and forth, going 1 minute I'm saying, all of God, and the next minute I'm not gonna say the devil because I'm not gonna put that in. 1 minute I'm all for God, the next minute I'm just off track. You know what I'm saying? Put your faith in God and let God lead you first and foremost through everything.
When it comes to faith, family, and foundation, what role do they play in your life? Like what comes first, what comes second, and what comes third?
You say between what?
Faith, family, and foundation.
Mhm. What comes first? I guess faith,
Mhm.
family, foundation.
Mhm. What's your reasoning behind that order?
I say faith because even though I've been through a lot, I kept the faith. You know what I'm saying? I always had faith. Through my struggles, I've always had faith. With that, I love my family. And when I say my family, I mean I love my family, but my family was my kids. My family was my kids. That was my family. And then, I mean, with that, You know, we built our foundation.
Good answer.
Hmm.
Good answer. You down for a round of black card revoke? You think I could take your black card?
You said, do I think you can take my black card?
Yeah. Do you think I could take your
No,
black?
no, no, no.
That's crazy. You said no. So well, let's see. Which hospital went to a different world than where you come from?
You say which what?
Which Huxtable
Oh
went
shit.
to a different world than where you come from?
You might have to get the black card. You talking about the damn hustles. I don't remember
So
nobody but
you didn't
Rudy.
watch the Cosby's?
Yeah, I watched it all the time. I just forgot it. It's been a minute. Once dang, what's the names of them people on the hustles? I don't remember Rudy. Dang.
Lord, Rudy ain't never did make it to college.
Right.
Denise. Denise
Denise.
is the
Okay.
Huxtable that went to a different world.
You know what? I guess you get the black card. Give it back.
What did New Edition say everybody loves? This
New edition,
these
everybody
questions
love.
these questions came out of Black Card Revoked, honey.
I guess my black card finna be revoked. New edition. Everybody loves.
Sunny days.
Everybody
Everybody
loves.
loves.
Damn. Ah,
Girl, now you better get this one right. You
okay.
better get this one right. You are your black card already revoked because you already done missed two. Keith Sweat said, "You may be blank, but you're blank."
You may be young, but you're ready.
You're crazy. Good job. Good job. Thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for sharing your story on my platform. Thank you, all my audience, for tuning in to another episode of Simply Winter M, the podcast. If you know somebody who suffers from relationship abuse of any magnitude, please don't hesitate to reach out to your local authorities or your local mental health agency for
He
help.
called me
I'm
down,
Winter,
bitch. Don't start no
and I'm
shit,
out.
but
Have
if
a good
he
night,
in it,
guys.
I'm gon' finish shit. Fly ass niggas in this circle. I'm the one that point 'em out. He say that bitch over there ain't.